don't forget that for a limited time, you can get my super mega massive big batch cooking extravaganza bundle with all of my best mealtime sanity saving resources from me to you to help you kick off this new year right. Just click the first link down in the description below and save up to 90% off now. Well, hello friends. Guess what we're doing? I know you're excited. And we are getting a Mega Mama cup of iced coffee going. Well, cup, mason jar, pitcher. Just put my monk fruit in there, gotta find a straw. We're doing big batch freezer cooking. Oh yes we are. And this afternoon, it's a rainy afternoon here in Virginia. School is done for the day. We had one appointment out this morning. It's now, what time is it? Almost 3:40. Got my food together, pretty much. I think it's ready, set, go time. So we're cooking up my Big Batch Freezer Meals Guide 3, which has a ton, super massive, mega amount of big batch breakfast freezer meals. Whenever I've cooked this entire pack before, we get 40 or more big batch freezer meals. So how many servings will that make your family? So many. So many. It makes a ton. I have a total of 5 breakfast focused big batch freezer meal guides. And this morning, as I was going through what I had on hand and which big batch freezer meal guide I wanted to cook up, I thought, good old guide 3. That's the one we're doing, so let's go. And so you see here, if you remember my guides, I used to call them large family freezer meal packs. And so now they're all called big batch freezer meals. They have guide numbers. They've all been freshened up and redesigned. Here's the recipes included in this one. We have ham, egg, and cheese breakfast bagels, freezer fruit bread, which is what I like to call it, apple harvest baked oatmeal, homemade blueberry pancakes, sausage, gravy, and biscuits, egg protein cups, French toast, easy breakfast egg bakes, and also oatmeal chocolate chip muffins. And we are gonna go, I went through the shopping list this morning. I did not need to buy everything on here, but I bought the items that I needed, already have those picked up. And so now we're gonna follow the big batch freezer meal prep guide, which we're gonna just get started cooking the sausage. We're gonna get the bacon in the oven. Where it says fry 50 eggs, I'm going to do sheet pan eggs, and we will use those on the bagels. So let's get going. All right, it's very good. It's gonna help get us through. Alrighty, so we had just done bacon the other day. Also, Merry Christmas. We had a wonderful Christmas here. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas in your neck of the woods. I also ran my first 10K on Christmas afternoon, so that was something new. But I've been doing the 3Ks, sorry I got the hand jammed up here, and 5Ks. So I thought, when the kids were done in the afternoon, Merry Christmas to myself. I'm gonna run these today. Yes, we did. Okay, hold on. We're gonna rodeo this pan out here. Who knows the story that you tell? But these pans, we did Christmas bacon. That's what I'm trying to say. Did some bacon a few days ago, and those pans have needed to be washed, and it is done. So I do need to put some parchment paper on them though. We will do our bacon. Excuse me while I put some more dishes away. I do want to save my bacon for today. So help me remember to do that. I have been cooking big batch bacon in the oven for years and years, and in the last several years what we do is we just flip it in half, fold it over on itself before we have twisted it. We've done various things with our bacon, but now we're pretty much just flipping it over in half. We can get more on our sheet pans when we do that, and we put it in the oven and it cooks up beautifully. got the bacon in the oven, and we're gonna get the sausage going, and then we'll get the sheet pan eggs going. I feel like in between messing with the sausage, we need the first batch of eggs going. Meat chopper, all is well in the world. Yay, Walmart. So I am proud of us. This is my first big batch freezer cooking day, cooking up one of my big batch freezer meal guides in so many months, I don't even remember right now. The videos will tell. It might be from late last spring is the last time I think I cooked one of these up, and it's just been life and things and adventures, but here we are. So I decided to do sheet pan eggs. Now, I have done a lot of sheet pan eggs where I just crack them and, you know, it's like frying an egg. And that's what we're doing today. And then you can just slice them down with your spatula and put them on the sandwiches. Another way to do it is to just scramble the eggs and then pour the scrambled eggs on the sheet pans and bake them, batch bake them from there. And that's another way to do that. If you don't want it to be a fried egg and you want it to be more scrambled, that is certainly an option. And I'm also going back and forth here, stirring my sausage and letting that continue to cook as well. The first time I did sheet pan eggs was probably 7 or 8 years ago. And here we are, yes, of course, picking some little shells out of the pans, and that's okay. And my friends, this is the way we mangle our eggs, haha. You know, in times past when I have done breakfast sandwiches, I've done scrambled eggs on the stove and fried eggs on the stove. And you also know over all these years that we've been together, I'm also a fan of sheet pan eggs. So I'm going to slather them in some salt and pepper and get them in the oven. There's 60 eggs here total. And so I'm gonna put them in the oven at about 425. Now, my recipe up over on largefamilietable.com was for a smaller amount of eggs, and I said about 9 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. We will eyeball them. They might need 12 to 13 minutes. The bacon is in there doing its thing also, and the sausage is done. So it's at that moment when I cried uncle because I realized I did not think I could get, yeah, well, of course we're gonna try it. Had to turn it sideways there, and just not so sure how it's gonna go getting the sheet pan to stay in the, nope, pulling out, nope, not gonna, mercy. I know that was some fantastic sheet pan egg ballet that I just displayed there. Can't quite fit the sheet pans that I have picked out and that I have covered in these eggs in a regular size oven. If they're gonna have to wait a few more minutes for the bacon to get done in a big oven, it's all okay. We twirled it all. It's all gonna be fine. Stick with me, kids, we're going places. Okay, so now we will pull the bacon out. I'm gonna move my pot over, and then we will put the sheet pan eggs in the larger oven, and it's all gonna work out fine. But we really are doing a great job. It's like pat ourselves on the back of juggling those sheet pan egg pans. And so I have not collected bacon grease in recent months, and I had about 2 jars left, and I hate to see good bacon grease go to waste. And so I thought, okay, I can increase my capacity now another level. I can start collecting bacon grease again. Aren't you proud of us? We're doing it. And so spilled a little, sorry, bacon grease, but I love to fry eggs and Brussels sprouts and all kinds of things. I like to use the bacon grease, so I'm glad that we are collecting it on this day, and that jar will just go in the refrigerator, and I will use it when I cook different things. Like I said, don't use it for everything, but there's definitely things I like to use bacon grease for. And I have kiddos that like to cook with it as well. So I'm teaching them all the important life skills, like frying eggs low and slow with bacon grease. Good mama. So I condensed our 3 sheet pans of the sheet pan eggs into one little sheet pan mountain. And now we're gonna switch over and get our sausage gravy done. That'll be fantastic to have several bags of in the freezer. And then after that, we'll be rolling on to assemble our bagels. And real quick, because we love making lists around here, I'm just gonna put on the whiteboard what I'm trying to get done, because I was also just taking a minute to read my friend Lisa from Farmhouse on Boone, getting reacquainted with her homemade sourdough English muffin recipe. And I thought, yes, we could do that. We could prep that dough and get it fermenting overnight on the island, and tomorrow afternoon we could also add those homemade sourdough English muffins to our big batch freezer cooking. So I'm looking at my little list here. We are doing the breakfast bagels. Those are in the works. Those are going down. Yes, they are. We are gonna do the freezer fruit bread. Yes, we are. And we are gonna use the homemade applesauce that we made and canned. Yes. We are going to do the sausage gravy. Also, good friends, I wanted to remind you that for just a very limited time, my super mega massive big batch cooking extravaganza sale is available for up to 90% off, where you get all 24 of my big batch freezer meals cooking guides, where you can fill your freezers easily with 20 to 40 freezer meals. I have bonus smallish big batch recipe additions in many of those guides where you're guided through doing 10 to 12 recipes for your freezer, or if you want to go all out, you can do 35 to 40 easy freezer meals to help get your freezer stocked and ready to go for when all of that real life comes charging your way. As a free special bonus, whenever you purchase the biggest big batch cooking bundle, you also get my 3 brand new holiday cooking and baking guides that are over a $44 value. You get those for free with your big batch cooking bundle. That includes Make Ahead Holiday Meals, which is dinners and such, also Make Ahead Holiday Breakfast, and Make Ahead Holiday Cooking. Which of course, happy 2024. Not only are we getting the new year started right and getting things squared away, getting some meals in our freezer, looking ahead, it's all gonna be great, right? There will be other holidays coming up before we know it. Also included in the Big Batch Cooking Bundle are tons of baking guides, multiple casserole guides, lots of sheet pan meal cooking guides and electric pressure cooker guides. There's slow cooker meal planning pages, already thought out, done for you grocery list, and so much more. Also in my Big Batch Cooking Extravaganza Bundle sale, you will get Big Batch Freezer Meals Guide 3, which is where most of the recipes and the cooking plan that I follow in today's Big Batch Freezer Cooking video come from, and that's available again in the first link down in the description below. Busy mamas love my holiday meal guides. Here's what Anne Marie says. The holiday meals pack was super helpful for feeding all of my people and kids at my mother-in-law's house. She has 10 grandchildren living with her, along with 4 to 5 other family members, and they all love the mega meals. Thank you so much. Another fantastic review that you can find when you click the first link in the description below. I absolutely love this bundle. It is full of delicious meals, easy to follow recipes, and no brain use grocery list. I filled my freezer Saturday, and I have never had anything go so smoothly and fast. Thanks, Jamerrill. Your packs are very thought out and family friendly. Every household should have all of your packs. And the only difference there is now I've been calling them guides for the last several months. All of the formerly known as large family freezer meal packs are now called Big Batch Freezer Meal Guides 1 through 24, and all of those, plus so much more, is included in the super mega massive Big Batch Cooking Extravaganza Bundle that's available for up to 90% off when you click the first link in the description below for a limited time. Now let's get cooking. And sorry, I got cut off there, but what I was trying to say is there's a few recipes in the Big Batch Freezer Meal Breakfast Pack that we're cooking Guide 3 that I am not doing in this big cooking time, but that's the beauty of the guides. You can pick what you want. You can make all the recipes, or you can, do 7 of them and come out with 21 meals, or you can do all 10 and come out with 40. There's directions and lots of good hand holding within each guide. And so now over here, I am working on making our homemade sausage gravy. Now, gravy is one of those things that is so delicious. I mean, we love gravy in all the forms, right? And it is time consuming to stand at the stove and make it. So if you have a cooking day where you can make some gravy and get it in your freezer, or if I was, let's say, doing, and I've done this many times, where I'll do my one 17-inch Lodge cast iron pan with sausage gravy for my family, and at the same time I do the second pan, and I will serve one pan for that meal, and we'll have some leftovers for the refrigerator for other portions, and then I freeze the second pan full, just in a gallon Ziploc bag or another freezer safe storage container. And then whenever we want gravy in our life, but we're not putting the time into making gravy, I just take the bag from the freezer, put it in my refrigerator, it defrosts, and then we're able to use the microwave and heat it up from there. I have family members that like to eat sausage gravy, of course, on biscuits, and I am doing some biscuits on this evening too, just not big batch freezer biscuits on this particular cooking time. We are doing so much though, but you know, you can watch all my big freezer cooking videos through the years. I've definitely had times, and I want to. I want to make, I don't know, 10, 12 dozen homemade from scratch biscuits and get them in the freezer. But you'll see in this video all that we're cooking up, and I am proud of us. But what I was saying was, if you don't have biscuits, even having the sausage gravy on toast is absolutely delicious. And right now I'm just continuing to add some more milk to my pan. Of course, we don't want to do classic Jamerrill style and overflow it, but I thought we could get just a little bit more milk in there and continue to stir it down and make this gravy. And now, even though it's flaming, I just had a taste of it and it's delicious. You can, of course, salt and pepper to your heart's desire, whatever your family's preferences are, but this is some good sausage gravy. Okay, so we can cross off the sausage gravy. We got everything been done for the bagels. Need to get those done, but I actually want to get the freezer fruit bread. Whoop whoop. I want to get that in our bowls, in the oven, get that baking, and then we will assemble the bagels. And then it's the egg cups and the breakfast bake. And then we'll work through the sourdough English muffins. Okay, we're gonna wash a Mega Mama bowl. That's exciting. Got some other bowls. Just wanna rinse off also. Washing the big bowl for those breakfast bakes that we'll do here shortly. Gonna rinse out our other bowls to do fruit bread. I need to send someone downstairs to my canning pantry and get 4 jars of applesauce. And I realized it just looked like 3 jars of applesauce appeared, but I did have a family member bring up some canned applesauce that we home canned together, yay, and I was going to use that in the freezer fruit bread. And actually coming up, we are getting ready to do some finishing work on this kitchen, which will be exciting. I'm having the walls painted a fresh Sherwin-Williams color. I'm going to go with sea salt in here, and I'm having the trim painted fresh, and let's see what else. They are finishing the crown molding. It's 1/3 done, I think, or maybe half done, but they are coming one day next week to finish the crown molding. And then the hickory windowsills I had made, they are going to get those stained and also get those installed. So it'll be a nice little buttoning up the kitchen for this season finishing project time. And since we have the gravy made, we did some biscuits real quick, and there's some biscuits and gravy for dinner. Yay. So now I am reading through my directions there in my freezer cooking guide to do the freezer fruit bread. So this is fun. I've been getting things pulled together and ready for the freezer fruit bread, which you can do mashed bananas or blueberries or whatever you would like. I was using applesauce this evening. Did find some mystery cups in a couple places where they shouldn't be, but I can't find my Cuisinart hand mixer. And I'm also wondering, do you all remember, did I blow that up at some point in the last year? I just have not been able to find it. And then for my Hamilton Beach mixer, I only have 2, and one of them is not the right one. So, I have life trouble. We might be mixing with one little mixing cup. These both go in. Okay, now watch them both go in and it'll be fine. No. Okay, maybe all is well. I just know each one is slightly different on my Cuisinart. Maybe it's not an issue, but still, where's that mixer, huh? How about I not put my hand in it? Okay, I think we're gonna be okay. But anyway, there's still that question for you. I don't remember any adventures where that mixer got up and walked away, where we had to throw it away. Anyway, if you remember what I did with my Cuisinart hand mixer, if you've seen it in any videos, there's a little trivia. I've got my immersion blender. All is well there. It's just been a while since I've used my hand mixer. Anyway, it's going to be okay. We will get through it. Getting our applesauce ready. So it's 5 cups of applesauce, or whatever mashed fruit you would like. And I've done this bread many, many times in videos over the years. Okay, there we go. With that. And now the big moment where we are mixing our dry ingredients with our wet ingredients, and the mercy of the Lord shone down upon us, and we have a hand mixer that is working. So that is great. Again, let me know if you've seen my Cuisinart hand mixer. I just thought that was funny because when I couldn't find it, I thought, okay, I bet my YouTube viewers know. Now, if you don't know what happened to it, I don't know what happened to it. Yeah. But anyway, we got a mixer that's working. We found the paddles that work. All's well that ends well. Some saying like that. So here's all of our pans that we are filling with our freezer fruit bread batter. All the B words, and this is so delicious that I have family folks that are eating this hot on this evening, also working on eating it the following day, but we did get a couple loaves into the freezer, so that is also a win. Alrighty, so next we can scratch that off, and now we will finally assemble these breakfast bagels, and then I'll just ask myself which feels easiest next. We're doing super easy massive freezer cooking this evening. And so now it's the breakfast bagel assembly station, of course, big batch style. So I started to get everything set up on the island there to assemble those sandwiches, and then I needed to go over and move my fruit bread around. So good thing we got a big kitchen to hop around in. And I thought, okay, while I'm over here, the gravy seemed cooled down enough. So I went ahead and got the gravy in the bag as well. So just a little freezer cooking distraction, but hey, we're getting things done. Wanted to go ahead and get that bagged up and in the refrigerator, since everyone did have some for dinner. And now the rest will go in the freezer. And there was more bread fresh out of the oven, and now I am back over to my breakfast bagel making station. You can use any kind of bagel that you would like. I have onion bagels, and that's what I also call for in the guide, but you can use plain bagels. You can make homemade sourdough bagels, and that would be delicious. And so I am putting a slice of ham on each bagel, and I'm also going to put on a slice of cheese, and then I'm going to put a little square of egg, and then put the other bagel slice on top. And I tell you what, I could not even get these in the freezer before I had teens putting them in the microwave and eating them. So I did save a bag out after they ate some the following day, and then we did get several bags in the freezer though, and I will report that they've still been pulling them out of the freezer. And look at this, meal prepping, letting them defrost overnight and heating them up the following morning. I am a proud mama. I do wrap each breakfast sandwich in some saran wrap. And then what I'm doing this time is I'm just reusing the bagel bags that the bagels came in, because I know how this works. You have to remember that 2/3 of my children are teens or adults. So I know I am a mega mama, mom of 9, but I've seen things, and I've had many years of watching how quickly food disappears. That's why I am the way that I am. And so if these breakfast bagels were going to be in the freezer for a longer period of time, 3 months, 6 months, then I would not just put them in saran wrap and put them in the thin bagel bag. They would need to be saran wrap and then maybe even some foil on the outside of that, and then put in freezer Ziploc bags just to help protect from freezer burn. But these bagels are already gone, hot commodity around here. I'm thankful we did get them in the freezer, and I believe within the next 4 to 6 weeks there will be no more breakfast bagels. And as I say that, I feel like, Mama, there's not going to be any bagels in that freezer in 4 weeks, but that's the longest life in the freezer I think these bagels are going to have, as their story goes. So because of that, I feel just fine doing a little light saran wrap to hold them together. They are pretty things, and then to just put them back and reuse those bags, it works just fine. And even though these are supposed to be pre-sliced bagels, you know how that goes. I do need to take the bread knife through each of them to get them opened up all the way, but the assembly line continues, and we're doing a great job. This big batch freezer cooking time really gives me hope for continued freezer cooking times. I share a bit here and there about how I can tell my capacity is coming back more and more in different areas. And you know that cooking is an area that's always been a big part of my life. And I am just continuing to have my capacity come back so I can do more cooking. And I'm getting more things in the freezers, and it feels good. And look at us, we can wrap breakfast sandwiches like nobody's business. Yes, we can. And this delicious freezer fruit bread is disappearing already. So here we go. I'm tapping out at 40 ham, egg, and cheese breakfast bagels for the freezer. Got them wrapped in the plastic wrap, and we're just going to reuse these bagel bags for this go round. Well, happy new day. So we are continuing on with our big batch freezer cooking this afternoon. You'll be proud of me. Old me would have continued to cook last night till midnight or 1 a.m. But I tell you, I've learned a thing or two about being kind to myself and being gentle on me, myself, and I. And so, last evening when I was done, I was like, okay, I'm going to be done now. And I'll just pick this back up tomorrow afternoon when I have some more time, and we will go at it again. And that's exactly what we have done. Went to bed last night, had a good time, got a good night's sleep. This morning, got up, ran my loops around my driveway. Actually, this morning I did a 3K, not a 5K. So a 3K is 1.86 miles. So I got that in. Then I had 4 boys. We had appointments for in the city this morning and school and all those things. So all that to say, now we have circled back around, and we're going to work on our egg protein cups and our breakfast bakes. And then, will it happen this afternoon? We'll get the sourdough fermenting for several dozen sourdough English muffins as well. And we'll just keep moving right along. Okay, so I do need to find my little paddles for my mixer though. Oh, that ran already. Okay. It's amazing. It'll show everything falling out of it. Okay. There we go. Get the mixer back out. So these egg protein cups, I have not done these in a while, but I have done them many, many times over many, many years, so it'll be good to get these back in the freezer as well. It is just pretty much a scrambled egg in a little muffin made out of ham. So it's the ham, it's the egg. You can put different vegetables in there or different meats if you want, also some shredded cheese. And so we're gonna mix up 3½ dozen eggs. We will get cracking. So, I love these muffin pans here. They do need to sit on a baking sheet of some sort. Let's see. How to make that work. I had a pack of ham open from last night's adventures. So I'm just going to line each cup with a piece of ham, and you could use turkey or roast beef or whatever you would like. These protein cups are so simple and so easy to make. And like I say, you could use ham, you could use turkey, whatever meat you would like, and then you just fill it with your scrambled egg. Now you can also add different vegetables. I've done these where I've added sliced peppers or mushrooms. You could add other little meat pieces within it. You can make them like little omelet cups, but on this day I'm just doing egg and cheese. Alrighty, now while these are in the oven, we're gonna work on our next 3 breakfast bakes. Okay, so, hot tea time. 'Tis the season. Now I have these 3 pans greased up and ready for our breakfast bakes. Now I will say, with the various breakfast bakes that we've made over here over the years, there's definitely times where I just freeze them uncooked. The liquid egg, the cheese, all of it gets assembled, gets covered, goes in the freezer. Then on the day that I need it, I would set it out, usually the evening before or so, and let it defrost in the refrigerator, and the next day I can bake it. It's just fine. You can also go ahead and bake them and then freeze them and then heat them through the day that you need them. My little routine is always to set things out 24 hours or so before, from the freezer into the refrigerator. So for these today, we will bake them. Also, yesterday we cooked up our bacon. We ate a minimal amount. We will chop up this bacon. I'm gonna throw that in, also some sour cream and salt and pepper and some shredded cheese. I'm not going to get another cutting board dirty or anything. Just going to chop this for a moment. brief pull it apart bacon moment. Still probably pull it a little more. My timer just went off to get the protein cups out of the oven, and you know how I like to leave things an inch long, so better get over there and check on that, and I'll mash that up some more in a minute. Alrighty, so this is 4 cups of shredded cheese, about 1 cup of sour cream, 3 cups of milk, salt and pepper per your preference, the pre-cooked chopped down, as you chop your better bacon than I do, right? Chopped up bacon, all mixed together, and then put in these pans and baked. And I did get cut off there, but I was saying 4 dozen eggs. And so here we go. We are cracking all these eggs. If only it was really fast, this fast in real life. And then we are going to mix them up with all kinds of good things in these breakfast bakes. So now we're adding in our milk and our cheese and our sour cream and our salt and pepper, and also the sliced up bacon. And now we just poured in the ingredients for all 3 breakfast bakes. Okay, so we have not made homemade sourdough English muffins since this summer. These are not included in my big batch freezer meals guide 3 that I have been doing all of these recipes from, This is, again, from my friend Lisa on Farmhouse on Boone. As always, I will link the recipe down in the description below. But I want to get English muffins, sourdough English muffins in my freezer. And this will be a great project for us to also do. Now, I was just sitting down doing my Mega Mama massive math, and I was gonna do a ×10 batch this summer. The most I had done was a ×4 batch. I was going to do the ×10, but I don't have that much starter. I purposely fed my starter for a couple days going into that to have enough. I just now measured out my starter. Of course, I gotta save a little bit and refeed that to keep this sourdough machine going. But I have 4 cups of starter available. So that means actually, oh, I thought I could only do a ×4 batch. We can do a ×8 batch. Oh, that's great. Because it's half a cup of starter that's needed for each batch, and each batch will do a dozen English muffins. I'll tell you again, I'll tell you in a minute here how many cups of flour and the other ingredients, but all we have to do today to get our ×8 batch going, it was a ×10 batch I wanted to do. It's okay. We'll be happy with 8 dozen. Okay. And I get to use my Mega Mama bowl for that. I was here washing out my bowl that we used for the eggs. I'll still continue to wash that. Anyway, I was getting this ready to do a ×4 batch because it's going to ferment and grow, and I don't need to do that now. I can do, because talking it out with you, see how helpful you are talking it out. For a minute, when I poured my sourdough starter into my measuring cup and I only had 4 cups, I thought, oh, I only have enough for 4 dozen. No, cooking math, Jamerrill. 4 cups, I have enough for 8 dozen. Great. Okay, well, we washed a bowl anyway, got a little bit ahead, but we will do the big batch fermenting in the Mega Mama bowl. What I was going to tell you was I wanted to do 10, but I thought I could only do 4. And as you see, dance around the barn with me, we're doing 8, and that will definitely require our 30-quart bowl. Yeah. All right, so I do think this requires our bigger boat. That's great. Put that one in there. I'm gonna go check our breakfast bakes real quick. Oh yeah, those are great. Okay, turn those off. Pull those out in a minute. This is the starter. Nice and bubbly. I fed that this morning that we have. And I'll need to gather up some flour and water, and that's all we have to do, and let it ferment 12 to 24 hours. It is now 3:54 on a Thursday when I'm filming this, and I will not get back to these for probably a good 24 hours. It'll be tomorrow afternoon. We have a birthday event tomorrow. Mega lot going on. But at some point in the afternoon or the evening, we will do these sourdough English muffins, cook them on the stovetop. And at that time, there's some honey and some baking soda, a few more little ingredients that we'll have to mix in. Okay, so it's 2.5 cups of flour per batch. We're doing it ×8. 20 cups of flour. Sorry, cat running by, that distracted me. It will be 8 cups of water and then 4 cups of starter. So hey, let's put our starter in so we have a win here. And I will get my scraper because I know that's gold. I don't want to lose any of that. Okay, and well, I'll put my water in here. Good way to clean out my last little bit of starter. So we need 8 cups of water. And again, these bowls are 30-quart mixing bowls that I've gotten many over the years on Amazon. They are linked over at my Amazon shop as well. And I have mamas from all around the universe here who have bought these bowls and enjoy using them with their big batch cooking. we are just prancing right along through every day, getting a little bit more of this big batch freezer cooking project done. This is what our fermented sourdough looks like. I did this day before yesterday, just a few seconds ago in this video. Hopes and dreams plan was that yesterday afternoon I would be able to go through and make the 8 dozen homemade sourdough English muffins. But you know what? Got to that time and it wasn't happening. So, and I love this about sourdough, as sourdough and I just continue to get to know each other. Since the beginning of last summer, I have loved finding out that when it gets to a certain point, I can just put the sourdough in the refrigerator and it'll wait for me there. And that's the kind of help I need. So I really appreciate that. So yesterday, it's been about 24 hours. I put this in one of the downstairs refrigerators. Thank you, extra refrigerators. And so now we need to add, it's 8 tablespoons of honey, 8 teaspoons baking soda, 8 teaspoons of real salt. That's just in Lisa's original recipe. It's 1 of each. We times take the recipe. And I know that I can break the teaspoons down into tablespoons and all of that, but real quick, that's just the times 8 math, so let's get going. Probably gonna mix a lot of that with my hands, so hello, pushing up the shirt sleeves, taking off the bracelet and the watch. And then I have both 17-inch Lodge cast iron pans over on the stove ready to go, and we will make these English muffins. And so now we're adding in the salt to the homemade English muffin sourdough batter. We are also adding in the baking soda. And then we are going to add in the honey, which I'm not even measuring the honey. I am totally eyeballing it and it all works out okay in the end. So the only problem I had with the honey is, of course, some of my honey, big chunk of it was crystallized. Of course, you can put your container of honey in a bowl of water and let it liquefy out some more, and I thought that's okay, it'll all cook down and be fine. I did find that whenever I was cooking my English muffins in my cast iron, that sometimes I would have like little globs of honey on the outside of the English muffin that would burn. So I know for next time I can't be as willy-nilly with my honey. I need to make sure that my honey is truly a liquid and not a solid at cooking time. And so now we are going on and we are using I'm using a measuring cup just more as a scoop. I'm not actually measuring the amount, I'm eyeballing it. But what I do realize is I'm making some giant English muffins. So you know we made up enough batter to do 8 dozen English muffins. However, if Mega Mama is making English muffins, I will turn 8 dozen muffins into 4 dozen muffins, and I will make the biggest English muffins in the universe, and that's exactly what we do here. And so now I'm just going to town here with that sourdough bagel. No apologies necessary. So good. Hot butter. Give me all the, or I said bagel, English muffins. You know what we're making here, right? Yes, hot butter on that homemade sourdough English muffin. Yes and amen. That's the good stuff right there. And you can see on some of those English muffins where my crystallized honey is catching on the exterior. So just don't do that. Although we ate them and it was no problems, just something to be aware of. And you see we still have birthday party decorations up because we have a birthday the week before Christmas and a birthday the week after Christmas. So it's just a part every day over here. And I do save out some of these sourdough English muffins, but we do get a decent amount in the freezer, which I'm also happy about. And no one in my house complained about the giant English muffins. There is a whole lot to love there. So there were no complaints for sure, but next time I want to see, I don't know if I can make normal size English muffins, but I'd like to try. Let's see how that works out. At our house we just made giant sandwiches and had giant English muffins. No complaints at all. But can I make them normal size? Can I make 8 dozen be actually 8 dozen English muffins instead of 4 dozen? I don't know that I can. I might be too broke to make regular size English muffins, but maybe I can give it a try next time. Also, don't forget, friends, to click the first link down in the description below, and you can get this Big Batch Freezer Meals Guide 3, plus so many, 23 additional Big Batch Freezer Meal Guides, and so many of my additional best-selling cooking guides and meal plans, and Big Batch helps to help you fill your freezer and feed your family well. So many different ways are on sale now just for a few more days for a very limited time for up to 90% off when you click the first link down in the description below. This is from some of that crystallized honey that wasn't totally broken down to liquid form. So I've had a few English muffins that has caught on the outside, but it'll be okay. We'll still eat it. It'll still be delicious. And if there's really a problem, we can cut it off. So So there you go, live and learn, and that was a little Mega Mama lesson for this big batch cooking time. You can have a bunch of wins, and you're gonna have some things that are not wins, and then that's how you learn, right? So here I'm doing my tea bags and my earthly tinctures with some elderberry, and I think they have another one called Immune Biotic. Some good tinctures from Earthly, and that's what I'm adding to my teas. Those are also my 3 handmade mugs from my friend Kate over on Venison from Dinner. She did not send them to me. I ordered them whenever she had them available for a limited time. I don't think she's having them right now. But in the future, when Kate from Venison for Dinner has her mugs available, be sure to get yourself some mugs because they are very nice. So we are just piling these English muffins high. It looks like an English muffin charcuterie board, and it's a beautiful sight, and they sure are delicious. So this is funny, friends. Look at this. A normal size English muffin, and then a Mega Mama size English muffin. Proof that I can make some things normal size. Also proof, not that I need to prove it to you, that I do things mega size. Because you know, we prepped dough for 8 dozen. And I got just a little over 50 English muffins, so just slightly over 4 dozen. And so, every English muffin is the equivalent of 2 English muffins.